With great power comes great responsibility.
Let's go.
Welcome to Comics League Dark, the premier Comics League news show, as we briefly summarize the news of the week. So let's bring in the panel that I have assembled. First, I might as well bring in someone that hasn't been here for a long time. The prodigal co-founder returns.
Hi, how's it going?
How
Glad to be
are
back.
you?
I'm surviving. About to graduate, so, you know.
Hell yeah. Let's bring in someone from the UK. And he rage quits. I got Taladia. There you go. There you go. I got him. Next up.
What is your profession?
What's up?
Nice.
Max? How you doing?
Good. How's everyone doing?
Wait,
Good. I thought 300 would work pretty well. And yes, Taladia, that was the special clip I picked out just for the podcast. So we'll see what happens with that.
May the force be with you, Wonderbat.
I am Phoenix.
The fun part is I can stop your clips now. What's up, Nick?
Just for the record, I am not actually a Phoenix.
Well, of course.
Oh, okay.
And then last up. What's up, Master Sergeant? So today we have a packed show today. First, I want to bring up a little thing that my good friend Lad brought up. There's a crap ton of delays right now. So I'm going to share a screen to an article that Lad sent me about this. So they actually, Beyond the Spider-Verse, hang on, I have to do this. Beyond the Spider-Verse has been taken off Sony's release schedule. This is not good.
Whatever could this mean?
Well, they really got to get the trilogy right, though.
Yeah.
And other breaking news. Water.
Oh, wait, I got that. Hang on. I have that one.
Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
There you go. Of course. So
See, one thing that I wonder is in regards to the Spider-Verse thing. I wonder how much the backlash over the overwork of the animators is factoring into this decision. Like, I wonder if the fact that they can't overwork the workers again. Like, I wonder if that's even a thing here.
I would argue the strike is a factor, but I feel like this film was going to get delayed regardless.
Yeah.
Well, and remember, there are sequences in the previous in Across the Spider-Verse that took 4 years to complete.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty optimistic about this. The reason being is we're getting to a point where everything's going to get delayed. And at least we know we're going to get a conclusion to this. You know, they may go past this last one, but at least you're not going to. That's more than you can expect from anything nowadays. We're going to get the conclusion. It's going to be good. And this is just the first of many. This is just that they're telling you right away. There's just going to be many delays.
something Game of Thrones season 8.
Yeah.
No.
Nick,
if you're gonna do that, we might as well.
Nick.
Okay, first off, that clip was justified, but Max is talking about unresolved endings or unsatisfied endings. So it's just okay, let's do the poster child for that.
If only there was a certain director that we could talk about that wasn't allowed to finish his story.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
Thank you.
You know, I really wish things would come check full circle.
Dweeb.
What did you hate me for shouting out full circle? I don't deserve that.
Perfect timing.
It's all good. It's all good.
Literally. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
It's Max.
But since we have Matt,
The viewers on my section of the channel are like, "Wow, these are really Snyder Bros. You're nice, Snyder Bros."
We're all normal people here. I need to be clear.
Well, I don't know about that.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Well, here's the thing. At least me, I've been on Max's channel enough that people think I'm moderately normal. So
moderately, there are levels
moderate,
to it, and you're
emphasis on.
I don't know. I got some feedback on the last one. I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, I bet. Yeah.
This Jared person is bad. Never have him again.
No, not like that. But oh boy, they're talking about restore. Hey, I still want it to be restored. I'm got to the point where I just want anything, and now I don't expect anything anymore. The way things are going.
By the way, Max, speaking of expecting anything, did you see that in the comics they're gonna have the Justice League fight Godzilla and King Kong?
Yes, that's awesome.
That looks great, right?
Comic, I have to tell my friend Brucifer to help me find the cool variants, and then I'll pay him back.
Get the Jim Lee one. The Jim Lee one has Batman in a Pacific Rim mech punching Godzilla.
Yes.
I only got one thing to say to that. Let them fight.
Max, we gotta call the King of Nerds to come here.
You can invite him on. Is he in the chat? I don't. He might be busy.
No.
We're gonna keep
for another show.
Disclosed.
For another show. For another show with Jared and King of Nerds, Bruce.
Well, Jared's part of the Team MME. He doesn't. He kind of knows a little bit.
I don't know if this could be.
We gotta see that team up. We've never seen that team up before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Craven is gonna make $1 billion. Craven's making. All right, lad. You're the Spider-Man fan. Wait, lad. You're the Spider-Man guy. Do you think this Craven movie's making $1 billion?
Might make $1 but I don't know if it's gonna make billion. I mean,
if it's really as good as John Wick action-wise, and they keep that up, I think I don't think $1 million or $1 billion. But I think it's going to do very well.
At least Black Adam numbers.
700 or 800 million is
I honestly don't think it needs to follow so close to the Craven storyline. As long as it's really cool action. What's the actor's name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, they were thinking him for Bond too. I think he's been skirting around in
I want Henry Cavill for Bond.
Lower roles, but I think he's a star. I just think people don't know it yet.
Regardless, Aaron Taylor Johnson is really gonna kick ass as Craven.
Oh my god, this guy! I appreciate the dad jokes.
I'm sorry, I was
You've been waiting on that one, haven't you, Nick?
For those of you on Team MME, this is Nick, my fellow comic book writer and the pun master of my group.
I am the bearer of the bad jokes.
Yes,
which is funny because
it.
before that, Nick, you know what's kind of funny? Before that was Lad's job.
That's true. You're good. It's successful.
And then Lad decided to get all smart and stuff and go to college.
Yeah. So, all right. The next topic. So let's talk about this because on Max, DC released a new documentary that's basically 3 parts tracing their entire history. I watched it. Nick watched it. Who here has viewed it?
I only started watching it because I talked to my friend Brucifer, and he's like, "What are you guys doing tonight?" I'm like, Jared and Taladia planned something DC related, and he's like, "Oh, you're supposed to watch this." I'm like, "Oh," so I started watching it.
Yeah,
and I only watched the first part, and I was gonna say, "Oh, this is gonna be boring," but no, they started at just seeing scenes from all the movies that I love, all different versions of DC. But no, they don't censor as much as I thought they would be. Like they talk about some of the creators, like the creator that created Wonder Woman, how he was into certain things. They even talked about the person that formed DC originally was into some type of magazines that he was being investigated for before he switched to DC. So they have some good stuff in here.
I personally really appreciated how they handled the Bob Kane, Bill Finger situation. They were surprisingly very critical of Bob Kane, which I
was surprised at that.
To be fair, Stan Lee was a glory hound himself during that era. Stan Lee was a glory hound himself. We gotta be fair.
Yes,
here.
but
I also think you got to remember, it was always Stan Lee as Steve Ditko, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. He always at least had enough room in his endless ego to at least include the other artists as co-creators. He at least gave credit to the other people who helped him. Bill Finger was even more of a glory hound than Stan Lee. That's
interesting.
That is true.
What they tell you in the documentary that I felt was pretty infuriating is that after Bill Finger died, that's when Bob Kane said, "Oh yeah, it was a co-created project with Finger." And then even when Bob Kane died, on his tombstone, he said, "The only co-creator of Batman is God." I'm like, okay.
Did you hear the stories?
They showed that
sorry,
clip.
go ahead, Max.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. They showed that clip with what's his name, Bill Finger, where Kane gives credit to him, and I appreciated that. Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing yet. I only saw the first part.
Even Stan Lee couldn't stand Bob Kane. Like I remember, did you hear that one story that Jim Schranko told, where like he got to slap the crap out of Bob Kane?
He slapped him. Yes, he did. So what happened with the story is that they were both at a con, and Steranko, who's another comic book, is he a writer or an artist, Nick?
I think
go ahead, I can't remember. I think I know he's a legend.
Point is,
that much.
He's a comic creator. The point who's very associated with Marvel. So what happened was he ran into Bob Kane, and Kane like launched into the tirade about how he created Batman and everything like that. He basically went into this whole thing. So finally, he like puts his hand on Steranko's shoulder and goes, "See you later, man." And then Steranko just slaps him and walks away.
A very
no one likes Bob Kane.
Moment. A very
wow.
There's one more Bob Kane story I want to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think this was like during the 50s, where Bob Kane brought some art to the DC office. I think it was Julius Schwartz or like some other DC editor.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, tell that.
Where it's like he liked to troll Bob Kane because he knew like he didn't act like Bob Kane at this point wasn't doing the actual art. So he's like, hey Bob, could you add a punch here? You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'll take it back to my seat. Like, no, I need to do now. There's an artist bay here. Like, and so Bob Kane was there for hours. And I think he eventually like paid someone else in the office to do it for him.
Yeah, the dude was virtually a hack to a degree. But I agree with you, Max. One of my favorite parts of the documentary was how honest they were about a lot of DC's dirty laundry. Because I didn't think they were going to be.
I thought it was going to be a glossy thing, you know. So even I mean, later, I don't know for sure because I didn't see the whole parts, but I was impressed. I was drawn in. When I was like, I put it on to do like in the background because I knew we were going to collab, and I wasn't really trying to get into it. I was just like, okay, I'll see what this is about. Typical stuff at the beginning, showing clips of all the recent
Dave, I tried to be the bigger person, but yeah, you beat me to it.
Yeah, but what's interesting is like even later when they talk about the whole Justice League debacle, they're very like, what's the word? Explicit about how Justice League failed and Zack got to do his vision with ZSJL, even though they couldn't, even though Warner Brothers said they couldn't use any ZSJL clips in the movie.
Why?
You know what? I was even when I was watching like the DC creators, I saw Mark Waid, Jeff Johns there, and I just was thinking, because I'm kind of friendly with EVS too, like. DC Comics is just a mess, even besides the movie part, you know, like the personal relationships to the creators. And I was just like, okay, I could see why this isn't just a Warner Brothers thing. It's kind of like a whole DC thing, you know.
One thing that I like,
antagonistic to each other.
You're talking about EVS. Yeah. One thing that I love is their refusal to give EVS the credit for being a co-creator on Jessica Cruz. Like, he is undoubtedly a co-creator of Jessica Cruz, and like even if you go to the wiki, it lists him as like one of the creators. It's just hilarious how they refuse to do that.
Oh,
and
to be fair,
I could see why you say that, but I personally think listen, he's controversial. I don't like things he says, but he hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't committed any crimes. So
No, he hasn't.
if someone creates something, I want them to get credit regardless.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult sometimes to promote anything that he's attached to, though. I understand that.
Yeah, he's definitely a firebrand. Like personally, like as a man, I like him. I got no issue with him as a person. Also,
I'd like him to be nicer, but this is also
I don't agree with
everyone that spends too much time on the internet gets a certain way.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
So Snyder Queen is in the chat. She can't join the panel tonight. Probably. I mean, if you want to, it's on. It's the links in the Comics League group chat. But since you're here anyway, I'll just play your intro. There you go. So yeah,
shout out to Snyder Queen.
Hell yeah. She's the other member of the CL team. So
cool.
Wait, no, I got to do this properly. She's the 6th member of the CL crew.
God, we are old.
I'm not impressed, Nick. I'm not impressed that Superman was not impressed in the Snyder cut. But
you need to play that clip. Play the clip.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's my old intro?
Tevia has a good question. How do you guys feel about the document talking about the new 52? All right, so for those that don't know, the new 52 is a publishing initiative they did after they published the storyline Flashpoint. That was when they rebooted the continuity and said, just start fresh, pretend we never published a comic. Now, the thing about it, this was when we had like Superman with Wonder Woman instead of Lois Lane, which I loved. You had Jeff Johns on Justice League. You had EVS doing Green Lantern. And the thing about it, this documentary was also very congratulatory to that initiative, basically saying that it revitalized DC. I'm not going to spoil it any further, but that's the thing there.
Yeah, this is the one thing where I will say I disagree heavily with the documentary, because personally, I feel like, and you guys can see if you're in, like, the new 52 is a mixed bag at best. Some stuff was good, some stuff was bad. They made a lot of really bad decisions that ticked off a lot of people. And ultimately, they had to, like, I wouldn't call the new 52 an outright failure, but it was something that wasn't.
Well,
it imploded.
Let's examine that. Wait. Let's examine that. What was the purpose of the new 52? To revitalize sales at the time and to bring in new readers. It accomplished both of those tasks.
For a time.
It stagnated by 2013.
It's not a failure. Even this documentary, let me put it this way. I actually did a video tracing that, so check that on a Comics League. But anyway, I don't want to get into a debate on that.
Plug aside.
That's a even though JJheat and I managed to revitalize DC with our New Directions series on his channel. But anyway, so the other thing that I really dug about this is how they brought in like the creatives and how they factored in those interviews with the creatives. Because I think what that establishes, it shows that to a certain degree, all these people are passionate about the characters and they're ultimately fans. Like that, I was watching this documentary with my parents, and my mom was actually quite taken of the fact that Philip Kenny Johnson was like going through long boxes. He had everything labeled and everything. She was like, "Do you do that?" And I'm like, "Of course." What do you want to say,
One
Nick?
thing important to note about these interviews is not all of them were shot for this documentary. Some of them are using old interviews because, like, some of these interviews I actually have seen before, like in various places through like DVD special features, or because if you look at like some of the footage, some of these interviews are from like the 80s and 90s. Because remember, like some of the people they interview aren't even alive anymore.
Well, yeah, Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil. I'm talking about more the Joel Jones, Philip Kenny Johnson, John Ridley. The John Ridley thing did kind of tick me off a little bit because he's the guy that had Superman be violated in a prison in Superman Blue. JJheat knows what I'm talking about.
I did not
to quote Tony Stark.
Thank you.
Not a good plan.
Not a good plan. Exactly. By the way, I will say this. The problem with the new 52, if they had a plan, an actual plan for after they did it, it would have succeeded. It would have been more successful. I still maintain it was successful, but that's besides the point. But the new 52 has its own section, the Museum of Failure. Oh, you mean like Wonderbat?
Hey,
don't
there you go.
The
personal attack or something?
That's crossing the line, brother. That's crossing the line.
That's crossing the line.
The entire generation of 90s kids would disagree.
I hated that Jeff Johns was included. Hey, Sammy, he's one of the architects of DC. They really could not take him out. There's really no way that they could take out Jeff Johns, unfortunately. So it's like, there you go.
You know, with Jeff Johns in there, the hierarchy of the DC structure needs to change.
Yeah. Okay. It kind of did, but okay. But the point is, now the other thing, the thing that I have a lot of issues with, and Nick agrees with me, is that in certain areas, particularly in part 3, that this is all I'm going to say about part 3 because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't watched it. They go heavily into politics.
Yeah, personally, I couldn't. I had to kind of turn it off after a while because it got to be a little bit too much for me. I wasn't a fan of kind of like the self-aggrandizing, the virtue signaling and whatnot. Some people, they may enjoy it, they may like it, but I'm just talking about personal experiences here.
To each their own, it could come across as a bit thick, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, with me, when I watched it, I mean, it made sense what they were saying, and it wasn't enough to for me to say this is a horrible documentary because it was included. The only thing I disagree with in the video is that they have the classic line where some fans say they want politics out of the comics, and I'm like, actually,
that was the point. I turned it off.
Yeah, all I said, what I said is, no, actually. The argument is take your politics out of the book.
And you know what, Jared? Your experience is just as valid as mine. Like if you watch the whole thing, you like
100%.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it even here, so.
I was just saying there was enough good in the documentary to weigh it out, even though they used Justice League like footage. But I expected that going in because I had seen the article, so it wasn't like I was like, oh no, that bad movie. Comics have always been yes, but we didn't have the creatives pushing their own politics in the book as heavily as
that's a discussion for another time.
I'm not getting into that right now.
That's a whole other stream. So
Jeff Johns may not be a great guy. Stuff that happened with Zack Snyder is true, but he's still the greatest superhero comics writer of all time. He's a.
Wait, did they just say Jeff Johns is the greatest superhero writer of all time?
He's not, but Sammy,
heavily disagree. I'm just gonna say that.
Well,
yeah, heavily disagree.
I'm not happy with what I heard about Jeff Johns, but there's a lot of stuff I love. Like, I actually talked with Ethan before about he's a huge friend of Jeff Johns and the Stargirl, how that character was created, how much meant to him because of his sister.
The only reason
I don't have personal ill will towards him because I try to think, well, it didn't happen to me, so I don't want to act like it did. I don't have any problems with people that are upset with him, but I wasn't there. I heard things. Didn't sound good all around. I don't know, but there's some good things about him too. I don't want to just tank his whole career because of certain things I heard.
Yeah.
I try to separate myself from it.
And honestly, as creators, that's what we should do. Like, even if there's for example, if I'm at a con and I see like Kelly Sue DeConnick at a table, the worst I'm gonna do is just walk right past and not do anything, because like you don't need to harass
really anything to you personally, try to not make other people's issues your personal thing,
Exactly.
Yeah, there's two sides to every story. We weren't there.
It's not like you need to walk up to him and buy him lunch, but like I don't know.
Because Sammy, I really like Stargirl,
Yeah, and by Sammy,
like the TV show. The TV show was really good.
And Sammy, they didn't shun Snyder. They actually gave him a lot of credit for bringing the Trinity on film for the first time and bringing Wonder Woman in the movie for the first time.
I think what Snyder Queen is trying to say is, yes, the thing that you said did happen, but it was like 5 seconds of a line in a single image. It almost came across like mentioning him like an afterthought. Like, other than that, he was completely absent from everything. So, I think, I'm trying to be fair here.
Yeah, but
fair.
The only thing I will bring up is that I don't really hold that against the creatives of this documentary because, remember, it was Warner Brothers that was behind this. And 100%.
That's fair.
They probably didn't want... They still had to go through Warner Bros. Approval of the documentary people, and they probably didn't want... This was right when they probably had to develop this around the time it was released or shortly after. the Snyder
Yeah,
cut. So that's probably not
pretty
like,
sure,
reach out to Zach for, still
they
things
should
are
have at
kind of
least had
volatile.
they should have at least had like an interview with him coming in. But I was like,
I would have loved that too. Yeah.
Like honestly, like they should have brought in like actually that's kind of that's a nice little like a thing to kind of talk about. What people do you think they should have interviewed? Like I think they should have brought in Zack Snyder. They should have brought in Christopher Nolan.
Yes,
probably Tim Burton.
They
like,
had
I'm trying to
an
think,
interview with Burton though, I think. Didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yes, they did. They had discussion with Tim Burton.
And Tevia, I'm going to go ahead and drop this now. DCU was a stalling tactic while everyone was shifting studios. That's the only reason DCYOU exists. Only reason. I'm not saying any of the stories were good during that time, but hey.
Yeah. But so and then also let's see. I'm just trying to get caught up on this. They mentioned okay, that I will agree that they didn't give enough time to be. They should have at least mentioned, and he would later bring the Justice League. They should have at least like mentioned, he brought Superman back to the screen and everything. There was more they could have done, which, okay, I will agree with you on that. And they didn't mention Ben Affleck once. Yeah, they had Henry Cavill open the first episode with some clips, but that was it. Yeah, I mean,
that's not right.
True. That's not right. Yeah, I do agree with
Remember
you.
Remember the clip I sent you on Instagram last night?
The thing is, though, it'd be hard to say that some of this stuff was intentional, or I'm sure there's people that, I think some of it could potentially be like the Zack Snyder's, like, because it was still volatile with him and Ray Fisher, but like the Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, I don't know. I wish they would have been included, but I'm sure there was other stuff. Did they get Ryan Reynolds from Green Lantern? Did they do, did they
They didn't mention Green Lantern. I don't think they even like showed
I'm sure they left out a lot of stuff,
I think that if it had been more episodes, I think they would have included more stuff. But remember, this was only a 3-part documentary. I'm sure that if we got more parts, they would have spent more time on like Man of Steel, BVS, ZSJL, Green Lantern.
So
Superman
someone should do, some fans should get together and use this and do a super cut, and then get some more interviews with the people that are missing, and just like
wait. So what you're saying is #release the fandom cut.
There you go. There you go.
I just came up with a good idea. I don't want to do all the work, so if anyone wants to take that and run with it, go right ahead. Okay. That'd be cool to put in some other moments of people that weren't there, like Affleck, Cavill, and round it out more. That would be really cool. Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay. I do think it's funny how they also brought in The Rock. I thought that was kind of fun, considering he now has the most popular DC movie since Aquaman.
I love Black Adam.
I love that movie. That was great.
I felt so happy at the end, and then the next week.
Yeah, remember how excited the fan base was when they were like, Cavill's coming back, and we're getting Man of Steel 2.
Yeah, I remember.
I miss those few weeks. Like I just want to like touch upon like those 2 weeks where like Cavill came back, he did that interview. Those were some of the the hope was strong. Like
I think people checked out after that. Yeah,
it's like we were allowed to hope. Like, holy crap, it's like actually happening, and then it just like ripped it out Kano style.
And then here's Warner Brothers in the background.
Gentlemen, in exactly 5 days.
Sorry for saying I have the long version. The point is, it's the Dr. Evil laugh. So I was never a fan of the Shazam crap. Well, yeah, The Rock. Miss me yet? Yes.
Like I guarantee you, when The Rock got word that The Flash did less than Black Adam, I'm sure he had a good hearty laugh.
It's reported he did. There is a rumor that he did. So I'm sure. But on that note,
so the hierarchy of power did change.
It did. It literally did change. So let's transition to our next topic, and Lad, you're gonna love it.
Awesome.
So let's talk. So we can talk about. Let's do this. Let's talk about briefly Secret Invasion.
Yes.
I didn't see it. But go ahead, spoil it.
Might as well.
It ends with a CGI fight scene as usual.
Oh, great!
Where they give Amelia Clark and the main bad guy every superpower of the Avengers, and they just slug it out.
Skrull. Okay.
They essentially form 2 Super Skrulls and have them fight. And I'm like,
okay,
in a show that's supposed to be grounded spy stuff, that happens.
I'm still looking forward to it. I do know there has been disappointment because even though I haven't watched, I'm behind on it. I'm like 3 episodes behind, but I see a lot of people on not Twitter, X,
yes,
posting
I have to
thumbnails
change
of
that down here.
X.
The Mandalorian like clap. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, even though it was in no way related to the comic Secret Invasion, besides like the basic idea of Skrulls taking over. But it was still a fun series because I like it when the MCU tries to spread its wings and do stuff other than constant comedic joke fests. And this was that right there.
I agree with Snyder Queen about Amelia Clark.
Oh, I have nothing against her. Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Well, I have a differing opinion on Secret Invasion. I was watching it.
Discerning opinions, not in this stream.
I know. I mean,
let him cook. Let him cook.
I'm surprised, Jared, that we're on opposite ends of the aisle on this one because I have been hyping up Secret Invasion for so long. I was really looking forward to it, but I felt really let down by what I saw in the end. Like, I'm, as just something to watch to kill time. Like, I loved everyone's performances in it, but I just felt the overall story was not appealing. It wasn't exciting or much mystery and intrigue as we were promised. And then I'm fine with it not being like the comics. I don't really care for that, but just I felt there was going to be more secrecy, mystery, like we felt in Winter Soldier. Like you don't know who you can trust. That rarely happened in this series, and I felt let down by that.
I feel like they're saving a lot of that.
By the way,
for Tevia,
no. The comic was great. Don't you dare say that.
Wait, what?
He's saying the Secret Invasion comic sucked.
Tevia, did you just read that one infamous tie-in with Aunt May?
Tevia didn't like Secret Invasion because Mayday wasn't in it. Like because of that,
We kid.
Master Sergeant, I've been checked out the MCU since Endgame. It's a zombie show now. That's a lot of people, honestly.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him.
Oh, I enjoy. There's a few misses that I overall though I still enjoy it.
Hawkeye, I will defend to my dying breath.
I liked Hawkeye. I liked Winter Soldier.
That one wasn't bad.
I like Guardians 3.
Just because Bendis wrote Secret Invasion, all of a sudden, just because you don't like the John Kent decision, all that invalidates all of Bendis.
And that wasn't even Bendis. That was DC editorial.
Also, and Snyder Queen, we're gonna have to heavily disagree on this one.
I give her points. I give her points for going against the grain.
The ending was rough though.
Oh, the ending.
I give her points for going against the grain. But that is a bit of a hot take.
The fighting thing was just like not working for me. I know it was a joke, but
the twerking.
I've seen people saying that Secret Invasion is worse than She-Hulk. In this sense that with She-Hulk, you knew what you were getting into. Like this was just going to be like comedic joke fest. At least you had the Daredevil episode. But with Secret Invasion, we were promised like a very dark, gritty, like Winter Soldier-esque vibes, and they did not deliver on that aspect. So in that sense,
basically.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. The parts that I didn't enjoy about Secret Invasion, how about this? I'll tell you. I didn't like what they did to Nick Fury. I was like,
oh yeah.
No. That is not Nick Fury right there.
Were you, or would you say that you were quite furious over what happened to him?
Oh yes, I was. I almost called up some.
I
love Max. I love Max. This is what I've been dealing with for 2 years now, Max. This is what I've been dealing with.
2 years.
Oh man.
And the Guardians holiday special was fun. I like.
Oh, that was wholesome.
That was great.
That was fun.
That was awesome.
That was fun, and I genuinely enjoyed Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was actually pretty fun.
Good.
Yeah, the roughest one for me was the last Ant-Man Quantumania. Ooh. like that.
That was
Thor:
wrong.
Love and Thunder. I only like half a movie. Like I really didn't like. Christian Bale needs to get over himself. I'm a fan of his too, but that just was not a cool role.
I will
I'll
say
tell you
this
a
though. I
story.
think Wakanda Forever, while it is a flawed movie, is not bad. Like I think it does a lot of things right, but it is a very flawed movie.
Oh, definitely. Especially
the
with
thing
the
is
changing
that I'll tell you a story. So my dad and I were walking out of Thor: Love and Thunder. Normally he likes all this stuff. He turns to
You
me
poor
as
bastard.
we're walking out, and he goes, "That wasn't good." He turns to
Here's
me
my rebuttal.
without even.
I'm not even gonna make a Wonder Bet clip at the end of the stream because of that. Because you actually went to theaters to see that garbage.
You
I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Hey, and
The fact that Natalie Portman came back.
Wakanda also honored Chadwick Boseman pretty well. I would
Jared.
I would
I
have
have a
rather
question
had him
for you.
there. Yeah.
What is the better movie? Thor: Love and Thunder or Wonder Woman 1984?
84.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Thor: Love and Thunder is better than 84. I think. I know it's subjective.
I'm more of a DC fan. I kind of have to say that in comparison.
Okay, Mad Max. I might say how Love and Thunder is better than 84.
Oh, I didn't mean to make this actual discussion, but go for it.
No, it's good. It works.
The Guardians were in it for a little bit. There was some fun to be had. I like Jane Foster's character coming back and her progression. I just wish it was a little more fleshed out before we got to the end. The downside was the Gore the God Butcher villain just did not fit the vibe of the Taika Waititi Thor movie. It just was like two different movies.
Because he wrote this one, Max.
Yeah. So, but there was no situation like Wonder Woman taking advantage of a stranger's body.
Thank you.
By the way, Max, I will say this.
And there's some better action in. There's a little bit better action in Thor: Love and Thunder than 84.
Matt brings up a good point. Gal Gadot being hot as hell made watching it bearable.
I got you bring up some good points, so respect.
Yeah, but what's kind of funny, Gore the God Butcher is actually a kick-ass villain in the comic. So I went into this knowing who Gore was and everything. That angered me so because here's the thing.
And
he's called Gore.
What's even worse?
Wait, Nick, no. Let me finish.
Name Cook.
He's
Cook.
called Gore the God Butcher, right? Have we seen him butcher gods?
You see, it's not the God Butchers or God's Butcher, like it's a singular butcher, So
that's a good point.
And this is the worst thing they did. They literally cast a perfect actor for Gore the God Butcher. Christian Bale was perfectly cast. And they ruined it.
Really? I think he's part of the reason that they didn't do heavy effects work on Gore.
Really?
Certain actors, they're like, I don't want to do that.
You mean like the tentacles and stuff on his face or something?
Yeah, because
I mean, I have no actual receipts for that. I just assume that I love Christian Bale. He's become more of a prima donna. Everyone heard the tape leaks from Terminator Salvation. He likes to flip out and he gets his way. So
what
I
they
think
did,
to get him, they just kind of let him do what he wants. He doesn't
what they
want to
did
sit
say,
the problem with Christian Bale is he's too hip to be square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what they did say, I was watching an interview.
Max, take it a second, but he got it.
I was watching an interview with, I think it was one of the people associated with the movie, but they said the reason why they didn't at least do the no-nose thing is because they didn't want him to look like Voldemort. And I'm like, then don't do Gore the God Butcher. And Tevia, Terminator Salvation was amazing. Don't you dare say that in my stream.
Actually, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I feel like Terminator 3 was fine. Salvation I thought was actually kind of okay. Like Salvation was the only one to actually was the last film to actually push things the franchise forward. Like Genesis and Dark Fate were just shameless retreads. Salvation was actually trying to do something new. Same thing with Terminator 3. Like they actually had Judgment Day as Terminator 3. Like,
Yeah,
cool
I
about
like
the
them.
movie. The ending itself of Terminator 3 is great, and Salvation I thought was a fine movie. Like, they actually went to the future. Like, they actually put
The only stuff is when they brought in the Arnie cameos. Is kind of, it looked bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and I think they
yeah.
pushed it in at the last moment. It seemed like didn't seem like fully
Mhm.
because the other visuals in the beginning of the movie were really good, and then
Yeah,
you get
like,
to that and it looked off.
I loved like the Terminator that thinks they're human kind of thing. Like, I thought that was kind of a unique twist on the whole like good Terminator thing. Like
and by the way, Sammy, she didn't steal the no nose thing because Gore came out after Harry Potter.
So wait, can y'all hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I hear. Yeah, the overall stories. As soon as I saw a trailer for Genesis and saw John Connor as a Terminator, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, that was kind of a stupid idea.
That's the central figure.
DeGrasse makes a good comment. 5 MCU shows in post. 1 show struck. 2 MCU movies currently filmed are struck. 2 in production are completely stalled. Not good.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
You mean one show struck? It's like struck from the schedule.
Yeah. So basically, delayed.
As far as Brave New World, I want to believe that's going to be good because like I think like Harrison Ford as General Ross and him becoming the Red Hulk. I think that's a cool idea. I want to give it the best chance, but like I it's not looking good.
But that interview
I'm
hyped for that movie.
Yeah,
definitely.
But sorry.
I hope it's good. I hope Brave New World is good. Like that.
That's one at a time, guys. A song from Aladdin, Brave New World.
It's also the name of it.
Oh, Whole New World. Oh,
well, what they're actually referencing with that title is the Huxley novel Brave New World.
Okay,
like that's what they're referencing.
But since we have Mad Max
Daredevil.
and Lad on here, what do you guys think of the Marvels? And do you guys think it's gonna bomb? It's gonna do decent?
I'll just cut in real quick because I don't have as much to say about it, but I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to be underestimated. I can see it breaking $1 billion. I think it has a lot of hype around it.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a movie.
Does it really?
Let him go. Let him go.
You gotta give me a chance here. I think because you know, WandaVision had a lot of people watching it. Wanda is like a very big in the especially in the Twitter community I've seen. And there's a lot of people that saw, Photon's performance there, so they may want to be interested in checking it out. A lot of Miss Marvel obviously is a smaller show, but not as many people watched it. But it has a specific audience it's catering for, like maybe like a teenage demographic. So you bring those people in, and also, Captain Marvel made over $1 billion, and some of that was Infinity War inflation, but still, you bring those three elements together, and you could have a really good storm for like a mini team up,
I don't know.
Lad, I see where you're coming from, but a lot of external factors have to take into account for that to be pull-offable. But I see where you're coming from.
Lad,
I will agree.
Here's the.
Okay, go ahead, Jared.
Here's the one. Here's the thing. While I agree with you, it is possible. Here's why I don't think it's probable. Because a lot of people are really tired of the MCU, and it's gotten to the point where anything that has the Marvel Studios logo, people are like, "Oh no!"
It's true.
Too much brand damage has been done by Phase 4 and 5 in the eyes of the general.
The Marvel
audience,
fatigue is real.
Well, here's my thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't think lots of people are though, and I'm not saying that the success of the first one was just because it was in between 2 other films, but it was surrounded by successful Marvel films.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also was a successful Marvel film. But now that people got used to picking and choosing, I don't think it's going to do great. I'd say like 600 million, 700 million worldwide. I don't think it's getting to $1 billion unless it's really amazing. I'm in the first trailer was kind of like I was looking forward to it, and I saw the first trailer. I was like, okay, this trailer's beginning better. The trailer's beginning better, but also the villain doesn't look like. I always say that the best comic book movies, really, you really feel the villain in the trailer.
Who is the villain for
and
the Marvels?
It's just
It's
she's
another
like
Kree thing. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, she has that hammer like the Guardians villain, the first Guardians movie
Is
villain.
she another accuser or something like that?
Yeah,
She probably
something
is.
like
That's what
that.
it is.
Yeah,
with the hammer.
I don't have high hopes for the villain. That's the sad thing. Like, yeah, they're in a team up, but if you have a team up, you want a really good villain. Like, I'm not. Hopefully, the villain's good.
Yeah, and the thing about when Captain Marvel was released, it was released at a time where the audience had been conditioned for 10 plus years. You got to see every Marvel movie in order to get the story. And Captain Marvel was being really sold really hard on, you got to see this movie to understand the story. Like they gave her like how did Fury lose his eye and how are the Avengers?
It had the best teaser for a movie tee up with the end of the first movie. Was it
Where's Fury?
Was it in Infinity War? Or no, what was the one where Fury
It was
Ant-Man? He had the pager. That was a great promotion.
No,
for that movie.
that was at the end of Infinity Wars
War.
when he had the pager.
Yeah. There's two teasers. There's that one, and I believe there was one at the end of Ant-Man where like they're looking at the thing, and then you see Brie Larson.
See that just even if Marvel was going full steam, the tee up to this movie, which I still like the show, is Miss Marvel, and not factually, not a people ought to watch that.
I liked Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
I liked it too.
That was the lead up to this movie, and not a lot of people. It's not the same amount of people saw that as the audience for Infinity War tee up.
Sure.
So
Nick, that Where's Fury scene was actually the post credit for Captain Marvel. It wasn't pre that.
I stand corrected.
The only addition to the only thing that teed up Captain Marvel was the pager scene at the end of Infinity War.
Oh, all right, I stand corrected then. But like as far like I don't really see as like there's a lot of Scarlet Witch fans. Like there is a lot. But I don't see that same enthusiasm for Scarlet Witch that you see for Captain Marvel. I mean, there are Captain Marvel fans.
For me, I call her Captain Marvelous. I love Brie Larson.
Honestly, I feel like there's more
there's not as
fans of
many.
Photon than there is Captain Marvel. Like that's the other thing I agree with you, Lad.
Yep.
Photon was great
Factually,
in
yes.
WandaVision. Like I loved her character, and like if she was getting a sequel, I would be first in line to see it. You know, but like this team up, I'm like,
I think they need to do a better job promoting, and I feel like they've been a little quiet on like promotion. It's starting to come up. You know what? When is it? November?
Well, there's still thoughts that they could potentially delay, but they've already spent so much on marketing. It'd be silly, really.
Yeah. Plus, the problem is, with the SAG actors on strike, they can't go on like Jimmy Kimmel and promote the movie, which that still is a big part of movie promotion. Is like going on the talk shows, going on late night shows, like trotting out your actors at junkets. That is still a huge portion of promotion. You can't just like throw a bunch of like trailers online.
Oh yeah, Brie could surprise you sometimes on the promo. Remember that one time she took over hosting? That got a lot of people's attention.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But the thing about Brie is she can be charming. She can be like, you know, when she wants to be. But most of the time, he isn't. Like I've seen plenty of things where like she's charming. She's like engaging.
Guys could be sarcastic, so she can be too. She's just got a quirky personality, I think.
The problem is she's so flat in Captain Marvel, and like in a lot of her stuff, she's got like this resting bee face.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And here's the thing about Carol. I mean, not necessarily about Carol, about Brie. At least the way I see it is that when she was on the scene, I think she was slightly flat. She was like, "Where's Fury? I'm doing this. I'm gonna go help this." It's just, and the thing about Brie that I don't like is that when she's off things, she's constantly talking like she is the best part of the Marvel movies, and she's not. But
she's being. I think she's joking, and people just don't get her sense of humor.
I don't know.
Like you know that famous clip of her and Hemsworth, and then of her and Jeremy Renner, where he looked annoyed. I think they were playing into a gag. I thought it was a joke. I think people took it seriously, and I don't think they were being really annoyed with each other.
Yeah, there kind of comes a time like you can say someone's joking like all they want, but like if all the audience reaction is getting is okay, this person looks arrogant or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe you should dial it back. Like I'm not saying whether or not she is joking, but that is how she is coming across to a lot of people. And she could be joking, she could be not. But it's coming how she's coming across.
If she is joking,
a lot of people. Versus perception, she might be intending to be. Yeah.
If she is joking, she's doing a poor job of showing us she's joking. That's my thing there. If she is joking,
well, she's gotten better since those original clips came out. Remember when everyone was going crazy? I think hasn't had any like big moments where people were cringing for her recently.
Jared, JJheat has a question he wants to ask us. He wants to compare two different people.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that on the show. Sorry.
Okay.
No. We'll discuss that off panel.
Yeah, off panel.
A quick point about Captain Marvel is I personally really enjoyed the film for what it was, but I listened to the criticism of how Captain Marvel as a character was you could see it as bland because she was like a robot for like the majority of the film until she found her memories. Like in that sense that like, she had to be played like with, like more robotic state, right? Because she was controlled by the Kree, like in her head, thinking those ideologies. But
that's not what that ship was doing, lad.
Right. But I feel like with the Marvels here, they really have a chance to just completely correct her personality because like basically the entire Captain Marvel movie, the entire Captain Marvel movie, she was pretty much controlled. And so, in Endgame, we saw her for a couple minutes, and in Infinity, the end post-credit of her own movie, we've barely seen her true personality. So they can really, like, fix up a lot of the damage and make it, a good character commit to it.
The point is, this should turn her around. I'm always willing to give everything a chance. If Brie Larson wows me in this movie, I will be the first to hop on a panel and tell you.
I don't think Brie Larson is like the worst thing ever. Trust me, she's far from it. And then as far as Lad, I disagree with a lot of stuff you're saying. In my opinion, like if like the third act of Captain Marvel, when she's like gotten her control, she's still very wooden with her stuff. And like the stuff you see her in like in Infinity War and Endgame, yes, it's small, but you do get small glimpses of her. She still feels very kind of like held back. And the thing is, I've seen her in other stuff. She can have personality.
Right. Oh yeah.
So like, I want to say like it's not like maybe she's getting bad direction if I'm trying to be generous here, because like you look at her in like Scott Pilgrim, she's got tons of personality in that. Or even in King Kong, like she's great in that movie. Like Skull Island, sorry.
So
I see what you're saying.
Now we're gonna transition to our last topic. So for those of you that are watching on the Max on Max's channel, one of the things I like to do for CLD, which is my new show, I like to have a general comic book discussion in here just to bring a little bit of fun. So we're going to talk about our favorite obscure comic characters. I've asked a couple of my friends on Twitter as well, and I'll read their responses. But by obscure, I mean characters that you wouldn't think that aren't necessarily the face of DC, but you think are awesome. I'll start with Max because he's new here.
I need to read more comics.
I got you, bro.
I don't know. I mean, I know Blue Beetle because I watched some of the animated stuff where Blue Beetle was before. Seems interesting. This is one of the things where I know there's some critics of James Gunn here, but this is James Gunn's strength is making the more obscure popular and exciting. I really liked what he did. I did not like the Suicide Squad at first, and then I rewatched it a few more times. Now I love it, and I really like Polka Dot Man and some of those characters in there now where I originally didn't. So I couldn't stand when he showed his mother at first, and then I just went with it. I don't know. Blue Beetle, Booster Gold,
that's
Guy Gardner.
Oh yes,
I know of Guy Gardner. It's kind of interesting that they got the announcement of Nathan Fillion. And hey, I'm cautious about James Gunn too. I would have preferred other things, but I want to see how they are portrayed. Yeah. So
Brown Destroyer says Sideways, who is basically DC Spider-Man. What he does is he opens up portals to like a dark dimension. Like he essentially teleports, but he's pretty much Spider-Man in a loose sense. Caitlin says Hawkgirl and Zatanna. Zatanna is like Zatanna, for those that don't know, is the magic girl that wears the fishnets.
Oh, I know.
She's my favorite. She's my favorite part of any Comic-Con.
Watch it, man.
Goes Ghost Rider.
Cosplay is not what? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Lothar, the first black superhero partner of Mandrake the Magician. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I know that. My favorite obscure character is Captain Marvel, Billy Batson. His name is Shazam. But okay. I liked Vortex. She was cool. Oh, you mean I don't think her name was Vortex. Who was the girl from Black Adam who could
Cyclone.
Cyclone. We've got Constantine. Yes. Constantine.
Oh, bloody hell. And in case you're new here, I'm the Black Constantine.
Nice.
Yes, JJheat has a great impression of Constantine and Amanda Waller. So, Invincible.
We're not joking. Literally, DC has hired him as Black Constantine.
Yeah.
Thank you, multiverse.
Hey, Adam's a good one, because if you don't know, Ryan Choi,
good one.
Go ahead, Claudia.
Huntress.
Yes,
you took mine.
Huntress is a member of the Bat family who actually she was in Birds of Prey. She was one of the redeeming parts of that movie. She was one with the crossbows. My favorite is a strictly comic character. I'm gonna get a picture of it because there's no way you guys are gonna know who the hell I'm talking about here. Let me do this. All right. So this character showed up in the Grant Morrison JLA run, but all right. His name is Zariel. He is an actual angel from heaven who showed up and then joined the Justice League.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
It is so cool. Yeah, he's so cool. What about you, lad?
I mean, off that note, I was thinking, obscure maybe for, movie-wise at least. Spectre, is a really cool character. I feel like.
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't pop up all that often, but I feel like, he's an interesting character.
Spectre's cool. Lucifer is pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. And JJheat says, are we allowed to have gag choices? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right, if I had to make one gag choice, I would argue a certain snowflake in safe space.
Get him out! Get him out! Get him out!
No, that was supposed to be a joke. That hurt.
My favorite is Hippolyta Kent, the daughter of Superman and Wonder Woman. For those that don't know, she is the character that JJheat and I created on our little show. So Aztec's another good. Here's the thing about Aztec. I don't know who that is. So, and I read most of the Grant Morrison run.
Wait. Time out. Why would you put Hippolyta with a Kent? It doesn't make sense.
It's a tribute to her mother. By the way, Max, in case you don't know, what happened was when I talk about the Grant Morrison run, Grant Morrison was the writer who's responsible for like the characters you think of when you think of the Justice League. He's why they are the members of the Justice League, because back when like Superman died, the Justice League was just Blue Beetle, Booster Gold, Maxima, who's a princess from another planet who wants to have sex with Superman, and Bloodwind, who's basically Martian Manhunter in disguise. Yeah, but the point is, Morrison came in and goes, why does the Justice League suck? Why aren't our top characters on our premier team? So he came in and said, ask me, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, and Batman. And check lead chat is what Nick told me to do, so I will do. Oh, yeah, I see. I'm not sharing this, but yeah.
They're safe for work. They're safe for work.
Nah,
Nick,
I'm not risking.
I mean, Jared, are we allowed to pick Marvel characters soon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Marvel and DC. Yeah, absolutely.
In that case, most obscure one, everyone likes to get
Joe's
her up.
Dolan.
Power Princess. Power Princess is
yes.
Marvel's
highly...
Lois Lane ripoff. Oh no, Marvel's
no.
Excuse me.
Taladia. Whoa, JHeat.
I never said anything.
No. Sorry, I misspoke. So, Max, Marvel has these characters called the Squadron Supreme, and they're supposed to be like the analogies for the Justice League, but with Marvel. I want to show you the design for this. This came out, and it made me look at it like, what are you guys doing? This is the design for Power Princess, and tell me if this is not like really a blatant rip off of Wonder Woman. Here we go.
So you admit it's a ripoff.
All right, here we go. Check this out. That's Power Princess.
If you told me that was Wonder Woman, I would believe you.
Yeah, you
I
see
still
what
like
I'm
it, though.
saying, Max?
Yeah.
I still like it. I still think it's dope, but I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here. You couldn't have made it any more obvious. Booster Gold is cool. I like that. Yeah.
Well,
DC.
okay. Can I do my picks?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
for my gag pick, I'm picking Athena. Like literally the greatest comic character not yet made.
I'm working on the script, but yeah. So go.
Gotta get that brown nosing in. No, but for my obscure one, I'm not gonna do a character, but I'm gonna do an entire team, the Legion of Superheroes.
Okay.
Are they
obscure? The Legion of Superheroes are like their history goes back decades. Like their issues first premiered in the 60s. The first appearance was in the 50s. They've always been in the background of DC. They bubbled up a few times, like they had a cartoon series in the 2000s. They showed up on Smallville. I think they were involved in Young Justice
briefly.
They're an amazing team with an amazing history, and hardly anyone talks about them. If you want an introduction to them, I highly recommend reading the storyline Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. I have been bugging Jared to read that storyline forever. It's short. So I think it's like 4 or 5 issues. But it really gets it's a modern book too. I think it came out in the 2000s. I think it was written by Jeff Johns too. But
Joe's Doolin has a deep cut.
Right, probably Scalp Hunter.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that would
American. Yeah.
Also, JHeat. Frick you.
What do you mean? What did I do?
What you posted in League Chat is certified blasphemy. The one part, okay, he I posted some pictures of some Teen Titans related characters, and he said better costumes than Titans. That is the one good thing about one of the few good things about Titans, and I like Titans, is everyone agrees the costumes are really good.
Yeah.
Jubilee, the most useless X-Men member. Her power is she shoots fireworks.
Listen,
Jared, let her shoot a firework into your chest. I'm sure you'll still call it useless.
Wait. Lad had something to say. Go ahead, Lad.
Listen, Jared. I've always supported Jubilee, but I actually started watching the X-Men animated series finally. I'm like halfway through season 1, and I very much enjoy Jubilee as a character, and I will defend her against your unneeded attacks against Jubilee.
Dweeb.
The fact that you've never seen X-Men the animated series, get them out.
Jared's exposed me to it in the past, but I'm just finally doing it on my own now. So,
Lad,
I'm trying. His defense.
No. I want to say this, Lad. We literally interviewed the composer of the classic X-Men theme.
Really?
You have no
on
choice.
Nick's show. On Nick's show.
No, was it on your show? I thought it was on your show.
No, that was you. Remember, you were doing the review for Power Rangers. But in Lad's defense of that, by the way, he co-hosted the channel with me for like a year, but he's never seen a Batman movie.
This is true, actually. Technically,
I just want to bring that in there.
Wait, what?
Also, can we highlight Caitlin's comment?
Never
a good one.
A Batman movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Dazzler's way better than Jubilee. Thank you.
I got into the movies basically with Avengers. 2012 is when I started watching movies, based on my age. So that was after the trilogy, Nolan's trilogy, and it's been 10 years and there haven't been any Batman movies except for the Batman. And I haven't really had much opportunity to watch
Or
Batman
do you
movies.
watch Batman v Superman or Justice League?
I did. I watched all the DCEU movies, but there hasn't been like a proper Batman movie until just very recently.
It's called BVS, lad.
Okay, he's trolling us at this point. He's trolling us.
Lad.
You didn't go back
BVS
and watch
counts.
the OG Batman movies?
I watched most of the first movie before the Flash came out with Jared. But I mean, Batman's like one of my favorite characters. I just never really watched his films. I just kind of watched
Batman is not one of your favorite characters.
Snyder Queen, like BVS exists.
Well, he means like dedicated Batman, like
dedicated Batman.
Wait. Real quick, lad. Have you seen the '66 movie?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. The problem. I'm sorry, Max. I've never watched a Batman film. I've watched a ton of the /66 series. I love Adam West Batman, so that's where I have my exposure from it. So
you could stay. I grew up with that.
Lad, have you watched the movie for that? There was a movie.
I know there's a movie. I haven't watched it because I want to watch most of the series before I enjoy it.
I just want to be clear on this. Wait. I just want to be clear on this. He's the co-founder of Comics League.
Listen,
Jared, you know what you need to do, right? Here's what you need to do. You need to lure Lad over with let's watch Ms. Marvel.
He's here. What are you doing? Why are you telling me what I need to do to him? He's in the chat. He's gonna hear the plan.
Let me cook. What you do is you tie him to a chair, and then you take. All right, so we're gonna start with the Keaton ones, then we're gonna watch the Nolan trilogy, and I will untie you from this chair when we're done.
No,
you haven't seen 1989 yet. He's halfway through 89.
I didn't hear most of that. So
he knows Conroy. He knows Conroy. I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah, because I mostly
with me.
I respect that.
Grew up with the Marvel films. Obviously the MCU was what I grew up with, and I always been a fan of DC characters, and I watch all the films when they come out, but I just haven't gone back as much with some of the older films.
Right,
but I really enjoy Keaton's performance.
Lad. JJheat has a question. Have you watched Mask of the Phantasm?
No, I haven't actually.
That's it. I'm done.
But I watched the JLU show, and I really, that's where I knew a lot of Batman.
Oh, that's right. All right, you can stay.
Jared,
you know what? We'll count that.
Shout out to me and Jared. Our rewatch of Justice League is ongoing.
Yeah, I've been
watching.
What's
up, Nick? Taladia. One at a time.
Get the pitchfork. Get the pitchfork ready. The Aquaman
trident.
Listen, we can have a series called Initiating Lad on the channel.
Why we have a series. It's called Movie Night. We literally do it every week.
Why keep it? Why are you putting it back? The trident.
Do I want to hold it all day? Yeah, screw it.
Yeah, all right. I would. I would never let it go. I'd say now you could speak.
I mean, Jared, are you not the king of Atlantis?
I am. What I'm going to do, because I live in Florida and I'm 10 minutes away from a beach, one of these days I am going to take this to a beach and have a photo shoot with the trident. People are going to look at me weird, but I'll just say, I
need to come visit you.
Heck yeah, dude. Anytime.
You need to be wearing an Aquaman outfit for that, though.
Wait.
Yeah, to be clear,
that was
the answer is going to be no, Snyder Queen.
Listen, I haven't watched a lot of those, those movies and such. So DC, just JLU is what I got into DC with. So,
again, he's the co-founder.
The thing is, the problem is, I know, every single show that DC's put out, show and movie, I study all the old history. I just never go around watching them ever. But maybe we have a chance to do initiation ceremony. Kind of go through.
I'll tell you what, we'll do when you're free and you can actually come back on the channel more than once. We'll have you watch Blade. In Lad's defense, I haven't watched Blade yet. I need to.
You've never watched Blade?
That was going to be a pick for movie night. That was going to be a pick for movie night.
Oh, by the way,
we haven't watched Warworld yet.
That is a review. That's coming out soon.
Bro, never seen a DC
movie in his life.
He has seen a DC.
I watched Man of Steel, because like I said, I only started watching films when I was in 2012 or so. So watched the Avengers and I watched Man of Steel on DVD shortly after. I really enjoyed Man of Steel. It's my first Superman film. I like the classic Christopher Reeves. I've never actually sat down and watched a full movie of him. But I respect, he's like the archetype of Superman.
Someone get this man to a red box fast.
Has anyone here loved the Sam Raimi trilogy?
Right here.
Yes,
I love the
Andrew.
Spider-Man trilogy.
He'll stop talking about Spider-Man if you bring it up though. And hey, Andrew.
But if I had to rank them, it's Scarface.
I mean, I see all the Comics League people. I am the one who will not shut up about Christopher Reeve Superman. So,
trust me, I've told him to. He will not stop. He will never stop. I respect Christopher
Every time
Reeves.
he asks me to stop, I just remind him that
Queen's picking on
Batman.
It's okay.
That's what she does. Understand. It's all good. She's cool.
I understand that it may concern some people that I am a bit of a fraud, but I've watched everything that's come out in the last decade. I've seen like every DC, every Marvel film that's come out. I watched a lot of the shows, and pre-2012, I watched a lot of the series that came out. Just like some of the films, I haven't kind of gone around to it. So,
show of hands. Who here watched X-Men Evolution?
Great show. I think it might even be close to be. It almost. Which is better, 97 Revolution?
97.
97.
I don't know.
97.
Is that even a question, Max?
Yes. Yeah.
See, what I
really like
Evolution. Let me be clear.
What I liked about Evolution is it really shrunk the X-universe. It did a really good job. It took all the X-Men tropes and literally put them into high school. Instead of having Senator Kelly, you had Principal Kelly. And it took everything into more of a high school setting, and it worked because Xavier's is a school, and like they kind of turned it into more of like a group home kind of thing for mutants because they go to a different school. But hey, I think it worked, and I think the show honestly does not get the love it deserves.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It never really got a conclusion on DVD. Like
never did.
I found it in DVD, and they never released the final seasons.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's always the high seas.
Yes, there is always the high seas. I like the portrayal of the villains in Evolution. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I like 97 more because they were directly adapting like actual comic book stories from. I was a little more aware of it at the time. So I'm like, that panel to screen is what they do with the 97 show. So I was like, yeah. He has seen Smallville. Yes. He has seen some episodes of Smallville, I hope.
I think, look, I'm a big Arrowverse guy. I got into it with The Flash, and I watched a lot of the Arrowverse. I never actually watched Smallville because that's before my time.
I'm not gonna
get out. I'm done.
It's before my time.
Okay.
I know of Smallville, and
Here's my history of Smallville. I was really big into seasons 1 through 4. I think I watched I watched season 5, and I watched a little bit of season 6. But seasons 1 through 4, like the high school years, were my jam. Those are I love that. I love that stuff. After that, it got a little bit, I don't know.
It petered out.
But season 1 through 4 is high quality television.
With me, I was watching it, and I'm like, okay, but I want to see him actually punch Superman villains.
I mean, it's
Smallville.
Oh, he knows it. Lad knows this. Lad knows this.
I know about. Listen. I'm a big Arrowverse fan. The Flash is an amazing TV show. Starting season 1 through 3 is great.
Season 1 is great.
Downhill after that, but the crossovers in Arrowverse were amazing. That's where I learned a lot about the characters. It was always fun. Like even if some of the shows were suffering, you could just bring everyone together, and they usually did something great, like Crisis on Earth X, or stuff like that.
I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite Arrowverse crossover moments. Is in the second crossover. When Thea says, "Wow, a bunch of superheroes going to a farmhouse. Where have I seen that movie before?" I love that. It's obviously a call to Age of Ultron, but I just love that they did that. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
nice touch.
Sweet.
Nice touch.
So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up because this was a great stream. It was good to see Lad and Max back on the show. You guys are always welcome on here, so we'll go around. Taladia, what have you got coming on the channel, and where can one find you?
I got up on the channel is my adventure with Superman tomorrow, I think it is, Jared, or today.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing reaction stream on my channel, and then next week, Jared's favorite stream is actually happening on my channel. That is why Superman and Wonder Woman work as a power couple. So,
So for
I
those of you
already
that
did
don't
my
know
bit
it,
with New Direction.
we made a bet.
Did you write
that-
some fan fiction?
Well, the way it works is since they always screw with me about Batman being with Wonder Woman, I told Taladia that if he reached 1K before the year ends, he has to make a pro Superman with Wonder Woman video. And if I make 1K before the year is up, I have to make a pro Batman with Wonder Woman.
By the way, like and subscribe. Get him to 1K.
Get him to 1K, guys.
If you do it, I'll definitely. Hey, if you guys help me out, I'll definitely do it. I got the memberships all figured out.
He
so
watched and reviewed Gotham Knights the show because the people asked for it. This man will do anything if you request it.
I stopped after episode 4 because I was like, I'm out.
You made it to 4? Jesus
Christ. Queen is right. Queen is right on the money.
These guys are really into their shit. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's a full-on war here.
But I'll also mention as well, not only on the channel, but we also like to mention this. Jared misstep on Nick's channel when he mentioned Batman and Nightwing.
Let him cook.
Okay, so on that note,
I love you guys.
on that note, Max, where can we find you and what have you got coming on your channel?
Right here, I just posted my link there. Movie Madness and Entertainment. Cover movies, video games. I have a lot of difference of opinions on there. Talati is there. Jared might be there sometimes.
I'm there. I'm there.
And I'm on the road to 6K. I'm so close to 6K. So if any without you, there would be so kind. It's really hard to all these young content creators know it's hard to grow on YouTube. I would really appreciate you checking my channel out because I'm getting close to 6K and I want to, work with everyone. I want everyone to grow and I want to collaborate with you guys more too.
Hell yeah.
I didn't agree with all the takes tonight. I'm sorry you didn't agree with all mine. I like that. So I like meeting new people.
Yeah.
It was a fun show. Thank you.
And by the way, Mad Max, I have just subscribed to you, so you're welcome on my channel anytime.
Everyone sub
All
to
right,
Max.
thank you,
really
JJheat.
Stuff. He does very high quality stuff.
Yes.
Looking on your Movie Madness link, it just keeps taking me to the stream.
Oh.
Well, sub to the channel then. I will say, Max, it's interesting. I first found you because when when you were covering the Batgirl movie cancellation.
Yeah.
That was the first one I found you.
I still want it.
I know.
I still want it.
Yeah.
Oh,
JJheat.
Jared.
What?
Oh, I'm up. I thought Phoenix was first.
There you
Okay,
go.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Now I was fan requested to do a Harley Quinn episode and including the show, show and the tie-in comic. This I'm not gonna name names, but this guy really wanted to mess with me. So
it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I wish it was you. I wish it was you.
To be clear, I made these two watch Justice League with me. It was brutal.
Why do you hate me?
Can't be worse than making an intro on cramming Captain Marvel and Nightwing and Batgirl together. So can't be worse.
That was Jared. That was the
Jared.
Don't test me, Nick. I will play that clip. Don't test me.
Take a look at Twitter DMs, by the way, Jared.
I'm trying to find your channel, JJheat.
JJheat Blaze.
Max, I just
should
subbed
be
you.
in
I just subbed you, Max.
Oh, thank you.
Description of the video.
And as I was saying, so I am doing a Harley Quinn review based on the series, as well as a retrospective of where the Harley Quinn character can move forward. And hopefully this does not get delayed, but God Killer 2 is in the works.
So
and let it be known. Oh, go ahead, Jared. Go ahead.
I'm going to bring up one thing real quick. Congrats to Talati on reaching 1.5K.
Nice.
There you go, dude.
Awesome.
There you go.
Let's get him to 2,000.
Make sure to share that love, Taladia. Share the love.
I am, but that's why we're doing the Super Wonder stream. Because
Yes, we will.
Super Wonder, obviously. But
Yeah.
Jared and JJheat and I are going to be doing the Blazing Shonen. I forgot to mention that. JJheat forgot to mention that next week.
Yes,
isn't it?
Blazing Shonen is officially back up on the channel. It's a podcast where I cover multiple topics. My brother Kid Takeoff collabs with me. Taladia collabs with me. And I think Jared collabed with me one time. I believe it was Attack on Titan episode 3, if I remember correctly.
And then I think I was on. Oh yeah, the Green Lantern one was on Kids channel. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Daniel makes a good point. The Harley Quinn show is a scar. Now, for all intents and purposes, the Harley Quinn show is pure satire. For all intents and purposes.
All right, real quick. I don't have time to go into this. He can do it on another show. So next, Nick, where can we find you and what have you got coming on the channel? I will be sharing a link to Nick's channel in the chat right here. That is
all right.
Nick.
So you can find me on X at the Phoenix Press, YouTube the same.
Yeah, I have to update
and right
that
now,
now.
my team and I are hard at work on Screecher Issue 2, Friendly Fire. I'm giving Jared an exclusive here. This is page 15 pencils. So we got Screecher fighting the villainous Shiva for the first time. Get over here.
I wish I had the clip.
Roll the clip.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it.
God,
like,
damn it, Jared.
I just want to say, like, my artist Brian Q, he did such a good job on this. Like, I love the way like the chains are wrapping and like go off the panels, like the connect.
That's very Todd McFarlane. That's very Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, and these are just pencils. Wait till they're in inks or colors and like So this is gonna be hitting Kickstarter in October, and I'll definitely be looking to go on shows. Max, if you'd like to have me on, we can talk about it sub time and whatnot.
Cool, yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. So
boy 73. Hey.
Oh yes. So I'm very happy, and yep. And then tomorrow I will be doing a live stream where I play Spider-Man, and let me just grab that link real quick. I'll post it in the chat. Yep, Jared and Snatter Queen are going to be trying to drive me insane. They've done a very good attempt. I will give them that, but so far they have been unsuccessful. If you want to see them be successful, then make sure to tune in the chat and egg them on. And who knows, that they might actually succeed in breaking my sanity.
Cool.
I want to see
that. The link to the link to the live stream is in the private chat.
As for Comics League, I believe that Lad's rapidly approaching the end of his semester and his career college, so he'll be on the channel more. So it's gonna be the boys back together, and then Lad will be officially rejoining the Comics League crew. So we're very happy to have you all.
Graduate myself, Lad, you're on your way.
Wait, are you saying we're gonna unite the league?
Yes, we're gonna have the crew. We're gonna have the OG crew back together. As for Comics League,
where can I find Lad? I gotta find out if he ever watches.
He doesn't have a YouTube channel.
I gotta follow you
after the stream.
I gotta follow you on X or something.
I'm just Jared's co-pilot on Comics League. Unfortunately,
we gotta get an update after you've seen.
Jared, after the stream, I gotta pitch you an idea.
Yeah. What we could actually do is I could do a video that's like Lad watches Batman 89, Lad watches this, and then he reviews on the channel. That would actually work really well. So we'll
watches Batman for first time.
Well, that's first time watching
for first time. I'm gonna put in all caps
on YouTube.
First time. So,
yeah.
So we'll do that.
Yeah, I think that would be good content for you, Jared.
Marvel Shill watches Batman for first time.
Oh dear God! Like you want to get
that would go viral.
You want to get to 10,000 views? That's how you do it.
Yeah. As for me, on Monday, I am releasing my open letter to Zack Snyder, just thanking him for everything. You probably won't see it, but this is just me trying to put a little more positivity on the internet because it's a very negative place.
Really?
As for Indie
Especially
Wednesday,
Twitter.
I have especially for Twitter. As for indie books, I still have to pick out something I'm reviewing. I may do another Greek God book. And Under Two Capes, we don't know. I don't know yet
DVD.
what I want to talk about. I'll talk to these gentlemen off stream. And in terms of movie nights, I think after this, it's next pick, I think. And
oh yeah, we're supposed
what
to be
did you
announcing
say
something.
you were gonna?
All right. Can I take the lead on this, Jared, or do you want?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So Jared is going to be releasing a poll either on X or YouTube. We'll decide that later.
Both.
Where
I'll do both.
There are four. There are four movies to choose from, and whichever one people choose, that's the one we're gonna do. It is Karate Kid, Stargate, Underworld, and what was the last one, Jared?
I forget the last one.
I'm looking at all my DVDs there, trying to remind me. Hook.
And also
Hook, the Peter Pan Hook, like with Robin Williams. Those are your four choices.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it again: The Karate Kid, Stargate, Underworld, and Hook. So of those four movies, whoever wins the poll, that is the movie that is going to be my pick.
Snyder Queen, if Underworld wins, will you be on the panel for that? Because I think Snyder Queen really wants to cover Underworld, and Daniel wants Hook. Okay, so we'll see what the poll says. And yes, training event
so
next
Snyder,
weekend, yes.
Daniel, whatever movie you want, make sure to do in both polls. One on Jared's channel, he'll do like a post, and then one on his X. God, I'm not.
It should be up by I would say tomorrow night after the stream to Sunday, but I'll have it up and I'll post about it. On that note, everyone, thank you for joining us. This was a blast of a panel. It's good to have the people together, and stay heroic. Bye-bye.